All right, here we go with another. I would like to draw first. Ooh, this is an interesting hand. I think I keep it. It makes a whole bunch of mana. We are on the play as well, I believe. Um, this hand, it has there's a lot of great draws. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Um, this hand spits out. It makes a lot of mana very fast. And while right now we don't have a great payoff, we just have an Emrakul. It makes like 4 through the breaches become a turn 3 win. We can have a turn 3 Primeval Titan. Like, there's just so many good things. Our opponent is loaded with Windscarred Crag. And okay, so this seems very good. It seems like we will likely have a turn 3 here, barring shenanigans from our opponent. Colony Garden. Make a 1/1? Or 0/1 rather. It's actually like the roughest part about Nest Invaders. It makes 0/1s instead of 1/1s. Alright, I would like to use this ability, and I'd like to make green mana. I'd like to have another Bird's Paradise. I guess I was wrong. We actually need a land in order to have the turn 3 kill, but um, I mean, any land at any point wins us a game, you know? Which is a nice place to be. Unless, he just untaps into the Pyroclasm here and we cry. I guess even then we could just play this, play fetch land after that, but any land off the top wins, including a tapped land. Oh, allies, okay. I'm trying to resist the urge to make if only he had a free blade joke. I mean, it's LSV level, because I've listened to LSV make that joke. Oh no, we've been bolted. Okay, I mean, so now any land wins, but not a tap land. Okay, that's a little rough. Alright, so Lotus Corbin number 2. Just waiting around to draw a land to win the game. It's like if you're our opponent too, it just feels. I mean, he doesn't know. Obviously, it just feels bad. He doesn't know that we're just. I mean, we have the win in hand, and I mean, sure, he won't technically be dead, but generally, Emrakul them wins the game. So he got me. I refuse to block. Refuse. Had a free blade. This plane is sweet. This is like the MVP land of the deck, outside of all those lands that are completely broken. This land is sweet. Alright, so we're back to needing an untapped land. That's another Emrakul. Okay. We started off so well. It was so promising. We went through the breach, but then we've gone 6 drop, 15 drop. Just give me a land. It would appear that we have all day to find it. Had a free blade number 2 has arrived. I'm not going to block until I have to, since this is conveniently 3 attackers for any Wimber's Kites we draw. So we'll take the 2, we'll fall to 17, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I know how that feels. The turn 4 Aether Vial does not feel good ever. No blocks. Oh, I want my Lotus Cobra back. So we need to untap now to win. Always with the Nest Invaders. Alright, first things first, we send a message. Come on, buddy. Yeah, you won't block. Alright, message sent. He knows we mean business now. We are at the point of the game now where through the breaching Emrakul does not automatically win, because after this turn I imagine he'll have 7 to 8 permanents. However, I mean, we may just... It's actually an interesting choice here. I mean, I guess I would still just do it, just to clear out his board. But we could, if we drew another land, just play the Primeval Titan. I think that I'm actually going to... Okay, so this is an interesting play. I think I'm actually going to block with this, because if he's scared of his Wimber's Kites, and we have 3 creatures, it might lead him to playing the bird, playing something to kill a bird, rather than tapping out for something or something like that. So this actually sort of it makes that choice easy for him, which he doesn't know is actually what we want. So yeah, so that's the reasoning behind this. I mean, if he still has that, it will hurt, but he did not. So we're just going to go ahead and do it. So I could play the Primeval Titan. I don't think I'm going to though, because I think Through the Breach Emrakul does enough to just wreck his board that we can then follow up with the Primeval Titan, and it will be good enough to win on its own. So I don't think just tapping out for it here is the correct play. I think clearing his permanents, sort of using the Emrakul as a board wipe, more than necessarily an auto win like it is on turn 3 or whatever. All right. Depending on how things go, I also have the ability to fetch for a Dryad Arbor with this. Although I probably won't. What's this? Oh. Oh, you killed it now. I'm sorry, friend. I think you wanted to do that earlier. I mean, we drew the land, so we could have done it even if he had done that, but it would have cost us a lot more life. He did take away our ability. We might lose this game, though, at this point, though, because we have now lost the ability to cast Emrakul. Interesting. Okay. That is very interesting. And when I said that, I meant cast Primeval Titan. I'm sorry. If he had just kept the attackers and just kept beating us down at this point in the game, we'd actually be and then say we just brick off a few draw steps in a row. Say we draw, another 2 Emrakuls or something. We could have actually lost. He's valuing this Aether Vault, which gives us plenty of time. And it doesn't help him that we drew the land and we just get to play our Primeval Titan now. All right. So, worst case scenario, I guess he gets pathed. But I anticipate fetching up. We've already got the Colony Garden. I don't actually. What's this? Leonin Arbiter? Get me? Get me with Leonin Arbiter? That would be odd to see in allies, but it could happen. No, alright, he's got nothing. Okay, sweet. We have bested allies in game 1. I think we actually want timely reinforcements here. Maybe a path. Get rid of the summoning traps as usual. He had a lot of removal. Oops, relic. I don't want relic. I wanted path. I think this is reasonable. I mean, it's a little weird just boarding one path. The answer is I don't actually know. Like, I can see a world in which we want both paths because we just want to hit his 5/6 Hada Freeblade or whatever. On the other hand, I feel like our deck can just race him. So I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of haphazard sideboarding. However, this hand. Excuse me. I don't know if we. I mean, we make a whole bunch of mana, but we have no payoff, and we don't even have half of a payoff. Because, if you have the Emrakul, then you have the 4 Through the Breaches and the 2 Quicksilver Amulets to make it good. And if you have either of those, you have the Primeval Titans and the Emrakuls to make them good. So your deck always has 4 to 6 good draws. Whereas when we don't have either half of those, we just have a bunch of mana. I'm not convinced we want that. I actually think I'm going to mulligan. This is maybe greedy, but... yeah. Yeah, this was greedy. I actually meant to keep that 6/1, and I forgot. I misclicked. This is fine though. This hand's actually pretty solid. I understand it's 4 cards, depending on the level. Our opponent, by the way, is also mulled to 4. So now, we can still turn 3 a Cloud Goat Ranger with this hand. He's got the Vial, which, so having played a lot of Merfolk myself, I can tell you that having the Aether Vial on your Mold of 4 is actually very bad because you just don't have enough cards to... The benefit of Aether Vial is that it allows you to cheat mana, essentially. And play guys with your mana or hold up spells with your mana, and also get a guy with Aether Vial. When you have so few cards because you mulligan, it actually doesn't really accomplish that at all. It's just another dead card. That said, if he didn't have a lot of lands and just had creatures, but either way, we're both fighting the good fight on the mulligans here. Our hand becomes insane with any land, though. At least in the sense, I mean, we get a Cloud Goat, make a bunch of tokens on turn 3. But unlike him, who has a lot of small drops and all that, we, can just draw Emrakuls and feel bad. Refuse to block. Alright, I can get behind this. This now does give us, assuming both our guys survive, we do have the Cloud Goat Ranger next turn. So our hand, depending on the level of interaction from him, mulled to 4 is going to cast a turn 3 Cloud Goat Ranger and would then have a turn 4 Primeval Titan on the mulligan to 4. So, and that's not a bad spot to be. That's like I said, the combo aspect of this deck is, you may have 4 cards, but if it's the right 4, your deck can still operate at a very high power level. It doesn't need a critical mass. It needs individual things, and it has. Why is this a 3-1? What am I missing? Oh, because it ended the battlefield. Okay. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got it. Having to go down a little low, but I think the Cloud Goat Ranger is gonna more than make up for it. Make some white mana. Play a Cloud Goat Ranger. So now we have tokens for days. We have Primeval Titan next turn, and we went turn 3 Cloud Goat, have the turn 4 Primeval Titan. Not a bad mulligan to 4. So he's taken Aether Vial up to 3. I wonder if that means Kabira Evangel, which is the ally that gives protection from a color. That'd be how I would worry about losing. But that was not the case, and our opponent scooped. So there you go. That was a good match. I think that demonstrates very well. I won't say this deck mulligan wells, but it does show that you can mulligan with this deck and still be in a pretty good spot.